All right, I'm going to walk you through how to do synthetic division, which is an alternative to long division. And long division is how you divide polynomials. And the whole goal of doing this, the end of the day, is this can allow us to factor larger polynomials. So let me show you how it works. It's a lot quicker than long division. It saves you some time. And it can be kind of nice. So let's take a look. So with long division, we would be stuck with the steps, which are ask the division question, multiply, subtract, bring down, and do that as many times as you need to. So the first question here would be x times what is x squared? Basically narrowing our sights down on this one. So well, x times x is x squared. So we put the x up there, and you can find all of this in the long division video. So we're multiplying to both, and now we're subtracting both. So we're ending up with actually 5, negative 5x, since we're subtracting a negative 2. And we do this, and then we ask another question, x times what is negative 5x, and that's negative 5. All right, we do that. And subtracting identical things gets us 0. So this is our quotient. And this times this equals this. Synthetic, though, does the same steps, but just kind of cuts out the middle. So what you do is you bring down the first number, and you multiply this way by 2. You add down, and then you do it again. Multiply by 2. You get negative 10. You add down. You get 0. And this is your answer. X plus negative 5. So it's really, really nice. So let's take a look at the steps so that way you're able to do it. So if we're long dividing, or just dividing these two things, what you do is the first is a setup. You take all the numbers, 1, 2, negative 5, and negative 6, and put them along the top. And then what you do is, this is what we're dividing by. So this is actually equivalent more so to x equals negative 3, because that's what makes it 0. So you put the opposite number in this little box, and then we're ready for step 2. You bring down the 1, you multiply across by the box number, so negative 3, and you add down. So it's negative 1. You're going to multiply by negative 3 and get 3. We're going to add down. We're going to multiply again by negative 3, and we get 0. And 0 is the perfect place to stop, because then we can summarize. We can say that that cubic is what we divided by times this, which is 1x squared minus 1x minus 2. Okay? And sometimes you can go even a step further, because we know how to factor quadratics too. So, and if not, you can watch the videos on those too, but I believe we can break this down this way, can't we? And then we actually can break this cubic down into 3 linear terms that's fully factored. Doesn't always happen. We're satisfied with getting a linear and a quadratic. But this one ended up super well for us. It was kind of random. So those are the steps. So let's just do it a few more times so you get the gist. So if we're dividing, again, you're putting the 2, negative 7, plus 2, minus 20. You're putting those all along the top here. And you put the opposite of this number, so 4. It's what makes it 0. Okay, bring down, multiply times 4, add down, multiply times 4, add down, multiply times 4, and in this case we actually get a leftover of 4, which is really no good. It means the answer is these 3 numbers as a polynomial, and then you have to add 4 over x minus 4, and this it doesn't work as well. This one does not factor, but that's okay. That's how you write it when it fails. But remember, just like long division, if there's a placeholder, you have to put that as well. So x cubed plus 64 is really x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 64. For this to work, the spacing has to be just right, so you have to put zeros in if you're skipping a power of x. Okay. So what are we putting in our box? You put the opposite of the number down here, so -4. And then we do the steps again. Bring down the 1, get 1. Multiply it times -4. Bring that down. Basically, add it down. Multiply that times -4. Add down, you get 16. Multiply that times -4. And there you have it. We get our answer. So in summary, we have something that factored fully, completely. It's good. So this is going to equal what we divided by times these numbers as a polynomial. So it'd be x squared minus 4x plus 16. Okay? So this is the quotient down here. And this is the remainder, which we really, really hope is 0, because then we can actually factor it. Okay? I think I just have one more for you. So now we have a 4th degree polynomial, and synthetic division doesn't take much longer. It just takes an extra like 10 seconds. So if we go ahead and use synthetic division for this one, we'll bring down the 1, multiply times -1, bring this down, multiply times -1, add this down, multiply times -1, add down, multiply times -1, and add down, and we get 0, which is great. And this here, it has 4 terms. One's a 0, but it has 4. So we would write, it would be a cubic actually. So we have a 0x squared plus 3x minus 5. So in summary, you have the x plus 1, and you have this cubic. So we were able to break down a 4th degree down to a cubic times a linear. And who knows, maybe the cubic can be broken down too. And we'll talk about strategies for that in the next video. But for now, here's some practice for you to try and see if you can synthetically divide. I wrote